Hello and welcome back to another video of the Brainy Heart. In this video, I'll be talking about the Arachnoid Mater and the Pia Mater. But before that, I want to review some of the things that I talked about in my previous video. The first thing that I want to review is the overview of the meninges. So the meninges are the bodyguards of the CNS, and the CNS stands for Central Nervous System. The central nervous system is nothing but the brain and the spinal cord. So, the meninges have three different layers. The first layer being the dura mater. The dura mater translates to strong or tough mother in Latin, and the dura mater, as you might have guessed, is the sturdiest of all three layers of the meninges. If you want to learn more about the dura mater, be sure to check out my previous video, which I will link in the description below and up top over here. Here is a sneak peek of my previous video, where I talked about the major landmarks and sinuses in the dura mater. I talked about major landmarks like the fox cerebri, tentorium cerebelli, and I also talked about sinuses like the inferior sagittal sinus, superior sagittal sinus, straight sinus, and the transverse sinus. So be sure to check out that video. Now back to talking about the meninges. The second layer, or the layer underneath the dura mater, is the arachnoid mater. The arachnoid mater translates to spider mother, and the layer is kind of filmy and spongy, and we'll talk more about the arachnoid mater in this video. And the final layer is the Pia Mater. The Pia Mater translates to delicate mother in Latin, and it's really thin and it's stuck to the CNS. And we'll talk more about the Pia Mater later in this video, so stay tuned. And the space between the arachnoid mater and the Pia Mater is called the subarachnoid space, and the subarachnoid space contains the cerebrospinal fluid, and I will talk about the cerebrospinal fluid and the subarachnoid space when we talk about the arachnoid mater later in this video. The meninges have three important functions or responsibilities. I like to abbreviate these functions as PES or PES. The P stands for protecting the CNS, and the E stands for enclosing the subarachnoid space. And when I was showing you the layers of the meninges, I showed you the subarachnoid space, which is in between the arachnoid mater and the Pia Mater. And the S stands for supporting blood flow from the CNS to the heart, or from the heart to the CNS. So yeah, there you go. Those are the three main functions of the meninges. So that was the overview of the meninges. So here I have a brain that's half wrapped in the dura mater, and the other half, the dura mater has been taken out so that we can see the arachnoid mater and the Pia Mater. So, the arachnoid mater is the middle layer. It translates to the spider mother because, as you can see here, it looks kind of like webs that are formed, and it's filmy and spongy. So that's why it's called the arachnoid mater. And it covers the subarachnoid space. And if we draw a picture of the three layers, this would be the dura mater, this would be the dura mater, this would be the arachnoid mater, and if this would be the Pia Mater, this area in between is called the subarachnoid space. And in the subarachnoid space, we can find something called the cerebrospinal fluid. And the cerebrospinal fluid is this colorless clear fluid that you can find in your body. Some of the functions of the cerebrospinal fluid include protecting the brain and spinal cord from trauma. And the CSF supplies nutrients to the nervous system tissues. And the CSF, which is a short form for the cerebrospinal fluid, removes waste products from cerebral metabolism. So those were some of the main functions, even though there are a lot more. The cerebrospinal fluid is made by something called the choroid plexus. And once this is made, it's circulated around the CNS. And when it's time, there has to be a way for it to go out because it's being made every single day. And fun fact, every single day 500 ml of cerebrospinal fluid is made, but currently in your body there's only 125 ml, and that's because the cerebrospinal fluid gets absorbed by arachnoid granulations, and these arachnoid granulations send it into the bloodstream, sends the CSF into the bloodstream, and once the CSF is in the bloodstream, this is the venous bloodstream. So once the cerebrospinal fluid is in the bloodstream, it gets emptied out by lots of different ways. So there you go. That was CSF in a nutshell. And coming back to the arachnoid mater gives protection to blood vessels, so arteries, veins, etc. And that's just one of the main functions that I wanted to point out of the arachnoid mater. So that was it for the arachnoid mater. Now, let's talk about our final layer, which is the Pia Mater. I'm gonna be using the same image because the Pia Mater is very, very thin and you can barely even see it. All this clear stuff underneath the arachnoid mater is the Pia Mater, and it's very, very thin. It's only about 2 to 3 cell layers thick, and 2 to 3 cell layers thick is very minute, and there is no way to pull it off from the brain because it's that grippy and it will never let go of the brain or the spinal cord. That was the fix of the Pia Mater, and that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned from it. I'm always open to comments, questions, and/or suggestions. Also, check out my blog at brainyhearts.wordpress.com. This is the Brainy Heart signing off. I'll catch you later in the next video.